for the early games, early riser. Got to stop by and get my Dunkin' Donuts in the morning.
No free ads
on the way. No free ads.
What's your order?
Just a large black coffee. That's it. I'm not into the morning milkshakes.
Okay.
Dan orders when we're traveling. I go, there's a 13-year-old girl that's going to pick up your order.
You have 30 seconds to explain yourself.
Go ahead.
I say
go ahead. Say
a grande.
Oh God, you lost.
What do you have? What do you think? It's the order.
Hello, may I take your order, please?
Yes. Could I get a grande, salted caramel, cold foam, cold brew?
Oh God.
What's the name on that going to be?
That'll be Dan.
It'll be Danielle.
Okay. Yeah, one order for Danielle, please.
Yeah.
This is the Buffalo Plus Podcast, brought to you by Connors and Ferris.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus Podcast, presented by Connors and Ferris. Mike Catalana and Dan Fates will be joining us shortly. I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Coming up today, we have a special interview with Bills long snapper Reid Ferguson. He talks to us just about the behind-the-scenes portion of what it's like to be an NFL player, talking game days, travel,
his coffee order.
I
will say the things I wanted to hear him talk about, and you'll hear it, how they get paid. I'm just fascinated by
honestly,
that. That
I
has
learned a
changed
lot with that.
It's a little bit differently. Preparing the footballs for the kickers, something you might not think about, but that's a big deal for them. And just his life as an NFL player / fan of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And how the Bills really feel about playing in the cold weather.
Yes, that was good too.
All right.
He was great. Reid was great.
All right, so you were in Orchard Park today.
Yeah.
You and Dan were. OTAs going on. What was some of your takeaways from this afternoon?
Josh Allen not there.
And
this is not a deal at all. He's entitled
to
to some time. He just got married on Saturday.
Yeah.
We loved the wedding. It was great. Didn't you guys think it was awesome?
It was amazing. I really loved, they did a great job with cocktail hour.
We're kidding.
Yeah, no.
I did get him a toaster oven
on Saturday.
I got him a toaster oven. I figured everybody likes those, but didn't give him the gift. No, he wasn't there today. The backup quarterbacks, Mitch, Mike White, Shane Buechele getting the throws. They need some time with the starting guys. I know Joe Brady talked today. Real football, like he said, doesn't start until the pads are on. But it's something you don't want to see too often when Josh isn't there, but I'm sure he'll be back soon, probably for the mandatory camp.
Anything else that stood out?
Trey White really likes Maxwell Hairston. That's cool to hear.
That's cool.
And Dane Jackson talked about him as this young kid and working with him and just what it is for a veteran. And Dane's wearing number 23.
That's weird.
Yeah. And he said the trainers or the equipment people are like, do you want to wear 23? And he's like, I think he said, what do you call him? The big guy, the big boss, big bro.
Yeah.
Micah was like, take my number, take my locker, go ahead,
sweet.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see. You can see probably some of the full interviews. The coordinators all talked today. Some interesting stuff, but this is more about getting everybody acclimated. That's what all of them talked about. Getting the rookies another chance to be out there with the vets. And then, then they'll have the mandatory. And obviously, still no James Cook. And it's not even really sort of talked about. It's just been expected that he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Fine, mandatory. Comes up next week. Then it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
I think then it becomes a thing.
We'll soon learn. Yeah. Mandatory camp is in about a week, like you said. So we will soon find out if he plans to come back to Orchard Park, when he does, and how that'll all unfold. All right. Without further ado, let's get into our interview with Reid Ferguson. All right, a very special guest joining us, Reid Ferguson, long snapper on the Buffalo Bills, the longest tenured current Bills player. We're going to talk to you just about what it is like, life in the NFL. We know it's off-season mode for you right now, but Mike, I want you to ask the first question because I know this is a topic that fascinates you.
It's so much of what it is. I want to start with your position. So I think about this. Reid, you're on a plane. You meet somebody. They go, what do you do? And you say, I'm a football player. And they say, oh, I don't know a lot about football. What do you do? Do you say your position to them? Do you say I'm a long snapper? And if you do, what kind of response do you get?
Yep. So that's actually That's actually a great question. One of my favorite questions. So the first thing I would say is, hi, my name is Reed. I'm a financial advisor. And then if they follow up and ask me deeper questions, I'll realize that I've dug myself a hole. No, so I will tell them that I'm a long snapper. More often than not, they don't know what it is or may have heard of it and don't know really what it entails. So I'll just tell them usually that I snap the ball to the punter for punting, and I'll snap it to the holder for kicking field goals, and that pretty much gets the point across. The next question is, do you snap to Josh Allen? And then I'll tell them no. The guy that does that actually outweighs me by about 80 pounds. So, yeah, I played center in high school. Had no desire to continue to do that past high school. So just stuck with the snapping. But yeah, usually, I go in on fourth downs when we, kick extra points, punts, field goals. That's when I'm on the field. So usually that gets the point across.
Yeah, they have to be. Honestly, I would think they're fascinated by that.
Yeah, I think it's just because people don't pay attention. Like usually when we're on the field for, apart from field goals, when the offense stalls on third down, or you just score a touchdown, that's usually when people get up to go pee or something, right? The punt team comes out on the field, they're changing possession, the opponent's getting the ball back. They score a touchdown, you celebrate, and then field goal team kick off it. You got a few minutes to kind of run to the bathroom. So that's we're on the field definitely when there's less eyeballs and less T-Bass out there kicking a game winner. So
yeah, going off of that, we are obviously in the middle of OTAs. Really appreciate you doing this. I needed to ask the hard-hitting question of, are you in the best shape of your life? Because we are in best shape of your life season right now. Are you in it?
We really are, and I can
Good for you,
confidently
man.
say yes, I am. Yeah, we're winning the off season. Is that the inside joke? So,
well done.
Yeah, best shape. We're all in the best shape of our lives, aren't we?
Do you guys get obviously you're on social media, you interact with fans and all that kind of stuff, but what is, I guess the better question is, what is your level of interaction, and how do you digest, as we all eat it because it's part of our job, but our family and friends digest it differently as a player? I know some people, you try and talk about blocking it off, but it is enjoyable sometimes to mindlessly scroll social media. Do you find yourself still doing that, being that wasn't actually what happened on the field, or that's not what Coach McDermott really said?
Definitely. Is the answer to your question. But I think I enjoy, so I watch the game obviously from, I play on the team. I'm focused on, the continuous ever-changing situations of a football game that control when I have to go out on the field. But when I try to, and I like to watch the game as a fan, because if you guys got to see, and you guys do, really, you guys are down on the field, you guys see what some of these guys do on a football field. I do not feel like I belong in the same on the same field wearing the same uniform as these guys sometimes. I feel like we're playing a different sport. So, I tell people all the time, fans like to tell me about, their great, the great games that they've attended and the stuff like that. And I'm like, I tell them, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
A guy asked me the other day, I was talking to him in the airport, and he's like, what's the best throw you've ever seen Josh Allen had? And I immediately thought, there's 20 or 30 throws you can probably pick out of the last, 2 or 3 seasons, much less, 7 or 8 that he's been here for. So, I enjoy watching the game as a fan just as much as anybody else. And that goes for the Bills, and really as the league as a whole, because when we play a 1 o'clock home game. I'm home, 5 or 5:30 maybe, and I'm immediately flipping on the afternoon games while we eat dinner and stuff, and watching what's going on, and then turning on the Sunday night game after that. So I try to watch as much as I can, just less like, oh, you're watching the Jets Dolphins game, like. We play them in a couple weeks. Like, and I'm not like watching them and like scouting and being like, "Ooh, the punt team did that." Like, because we'll see it on film the week that we're practicing them
Right.
anyway.
Yeah, you just
practicing to play them anyway. It's just I'm watching for the entertainment value, just as much as you guys probably are. So
you're a fan of the game.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm just curious too. Obviously, you just coming off and getting a new deal. You've been in Buffalo for quite some time. Like when you first told people I play for the Bills to now when you tell them I play for the Bills, like how different of a perception do you feel like there is now?
It's definitely changed. So when so I'll answer it a little twofold. So when I first signed in Buffalo and they approached me to sign undrafted as an undrafted free agent, and Dan knows this, I'm a big Yankees fan. I thought I was going to be going to a bunch of Yankees games, and I couldn't tell you where Buffalo was on a map. I didn't know
You're
that.
Smarter than that, Reed.
So I grew up in Atlanta. I had never, I had some family in Tennessee. I don't ever really think that I went north of Kentucky, like until I went to Buffalo. Never been to Cleveland, Pittsburgh, like never really been up in this area. I've been to New York City, Boston, like we took family trips over like on the East Coast, but I had never really been kind of like up in this, this area, this region of the country. So I, shortly after looked it up, 7 hours from New York City. I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to many Yankee games, but just take a
tickets
short, take a short 50-minute flight, but take a day trip, I guess. But no, it's sorry, I lost my mind there. But so I think, and it's funny that you asked this question because I was just at a dinner last night where a guy was asking me a question, and he was talking about how Dallas gets a lot of primetime games and they're America's team and this and that, but they haven't had a ton of success recently. And I think that the Buffalo Bills are America's team because you look at some of the recent success we've had, but you look at the primetime games and the stuff we play. It seems like we're setting new records every year, for primetime games, holiday games, Thanksgiving games, whatever it may be. People love to tune in to watch the Buffalo Bills. So I think, when you talk about what's changed since I got here in 2016, it's that people can put Buffalo on a map. People know who, the players are getting recognition. You've got the MVP of the league on your team. So, I think when you talk about what's changed, it's definitely, the success has helped, but building the culture and bringing the right guys in the building has helped as well.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by the minutiae of things in the games, especially. One thing I don't think a lot of people realize, you talk about when you're on the field and you said when people are leaving the room and all, but you are there for huge plays in the game, right? Field goals and punts sometimes, how important they are. It's a different football, right? And can you explain a little bit about that? Because I don't think most fans realize what goes into that. And I'm thinking they are changing some rules about that. Can you let everybody know what happens with that?
Sure. So there's two different footballs used for the games. The offense, each team's offense has their own footballs. And you could tell when you're watching the game, they're much darker. They have, they're broken in differently. They have, some mud or something on them. Every team breaks them in for the most part the same way. They kind of put the mud on it and then kind of go from there. But for the specialists, we get three, excuse me, 3 K balls per game. They're changing the rules a little bit this year, thankfully. But since I've been in the league, and they changed the rules probably a few years before I got here, but each team gets 3 balls, 3 K balls that are brand new on the day of the game, never broken in. We have a guy on staff in our equipment room that breaks those in on game day. He'll meet up with the other team, whoever we're playing. He'll meet up with their equipment manager who breaks in the footballs, and they'll meet up with the referees. They'll take turns picking which ball they want based on how the leather looks, the feel of it, how easy one ball might be to break in, and they'll take those balls back to their workspace in the equipment room, whether we're home or away, and back into the locker room, and they'll get about an hour to break those balls in, all 3 of them. So, and those footballs are only used for kicking plays, kickoffs, punts, and extra points and field goals. So those balls are not, they're not used by the offense. So we, for the most part, try to use the same ball all game. So, yep, Dan, go ahead.
No, we've had in-depth conversations about this. We've talked about your balls quite a bit. And it's been at times, it's been in the locker room. At times it's been after.
Clipped.
Yeah. But it was, there's 1, 2, and 3. And you were saying that you can't, to get the K ball to where you want it to be, you said you can't evenly give time to all of them. You have to focus on one, which is why if you lose one, which is why I've seen you from being down on the field, if you ever see Reid freaking out after an extra point or a field goal, there's a reason, right, Reid?
It's true. Yeah. So you hit the nail on the head. It's in that hour of time that his name's Austin Scoble, call him Scobes. He's our equipment guy that does the football. So during that time, that hour time frame on game day, and it's a couple hours before kickoff, he will take the best football that he picked out of the bunch, and that will be the 1 ball. So he will spend X amount of time on that, maybe 25 to 30 minutes. He'll probably spend almost half the time just on that 1 ball to get it broken in to where it is the A+ that it could possibly be for game day, because that's the 1 ball that we want to be using in all of our kicking situations. The 2 ball, he'll probably spend another maybe 15 to 18 minutes on that, and then another 10 to 12 minutes on the 3rd ball to get it at least usable in case of emergency. So we, like you said, we really try to use that 1 ball as much as we can. Rain games present a little bit of an obstacle, if you will, for interchanging the balls throughout the game as the game goes on. Sometimes when it rains, we take a little less time on 1 and add that time to the 2 ball. So you have a first half ball and a second half ball.
Wow.
Because the rain, the refs do a good job of covering the footballs, when they get tossed in and out, but those guys aren't, those guys are referees. They're not wide receivers. So sometimes, when they're tossing them in, they might drop them on the ground and they get wet, and that affects how the ball is coming out of my hands, how the punter's catching it for a punt, how the punter's catching it, how he's catching it when he's down holding for a field goal. There's a lot of aspects that go into the game day footballs for the specialists.
It's fascinating, just the dynamic, because I think so many people think of it's the kick. Like, you throw the ball back to him and you punt it, and there's not, like, it's the most basic thing. There's no routes, there's no anything. And when we've talked about it, like how much goes into that process and how timing is everything, the steps, the blocking, all of that stuff that goes into it. It's fascinating to see that side of everything that goes into it. And going off that, Reid, your preparation for the game, like, you're out there, you're warming up in your pads and you're throwing and things like that. But what is the preparation like during the week? Because it's not necessarily, I imagine there's some film work in there. Is it as much as a quarterback? You've also talked a lot about your understanding weather and wind patterns. of where you are at the game. That's also a lot of your prep, right?
We like to think that we understand, what happens in our stadium the best, just because we get to practice there during the week, but and have played a bunch of games there on Sundays. But I mean, you could walk down every 10 yards all the way down the field on both hashes. So you could get, I don't know what that would be, 20 different data points. And every one of those data points would give you a different wind reading.
Crazy.
So, and that's just ground level, right? You've got to think, okay, so ground level, this is what the ball could do to the snap. Could it blow it from, if we're punting one way, I'm aiming at his left hip. Could it blow it a little bit to his right hip? Okay, I need to know that for when I'm snapping with the wind or when I'm snapping into the wind. How does it affect it? Does it make it rise a little bit, or does it make the ball dive a little bit? When we're punting towards the scoreboard, we're punting towards a tunnel. How are we kind of attacking, the wind that day? The wind on the ground level is attacking. How does it affect the snap? Okay, let's go to the next tier up from there, and then the next tier up from there, where the ball is climbing, and then it's at its peak. What's it gonna do? Is it gonna hit a wall? Is it gonna kill it? Is it going to blow it one way or the other? So you need to know, where's my aiming point? Where am I starting the ball? And that goes the same for kicks too, and kickoffs as well. There's so much, there's so much that goes into it. You can have a game day plan. You can read, on Friday. I don't like to look more than 48 hours out for a home game, just because it changes so much up here. We've had games where it's 90% chance of rain and you don't see a drop of rain.
Weatherman.
We've seen games where it's 10 to 20% and it's sprinkling the whole game. You just never know when a cloud is going to pass you by, go north or south, when you think you're not going to get anything, and then the rain cloud decides to hover over the stadium for, from 12 to 5. So from, we just came out here for warm-ups. Imagine that. It started to rain.
Yeah.
Oh, you're driving home. It's not raining anymore.
Or snowstorm.
I can't tell you how many times that's happened. It's unbelievable. But
classic.
So it's you definitely learn how to adjust and adapt to the weather up here, but it is every week presents a new challenge.
Okay, speaking of the weather, I know that it is, defend every blade of grass, and Buffalo is cold weather and all that stuff. The cold weather, we're in the trust tree talking about it. Like, how do you guys as players, I know you have to adapt to it, but like, do you like it? Are you fine with it? Like, how do you approach that?
I think that we use it to our advantage. Dan probably has some video on his camera, some B-roll of me just camping out by the heater all game. Because that's usually,
I'm right next to you, dude.
Exactly.
I'm usually trying to, like, hey man, let's get a little bit of the heat to the hands.
I know. Players only. That's my joke. Like when trainers and stuff like come over to the heater, I'm like, "Hey, players only."
Vibes
they don't think it's funny. But no, I think when you've got Josh back there with a cannon, he can really throw it in any weather. And then I think it helps also, when you look back. And this helps me as well with my snapping. When you look back and you say, I've done it in basically every condition imaginable, right? Mm-hmm. We've played, you look at the New England playoff game from 21, right? It was -8 degrees outside, and we didn't punt, right? And you just the offense had a perfect game. It's like, you can do it, right? You've done it in -8. So, use that previous, we don't have a ton of players that are still here from that game or that season, but, I like to look back and say, a couple years ago, it was 100 billion degrees in Miami
Yeah.
in September, and we had great snaps that day.
You almost
Christmas
had to go
Eve
in and play line that day. You
I
were
know,
almost going to have
I
to be a
know.
lineman.
I
That
know.
was the hottest. That was the hottest I've ever been in my life.
Okay, did you go to the game the year before?
Yeah.
What was the score of that game?
Oh, trivia.
Which game? Because that
we played them in week 2, like 2 years in a row.
Was that the
week
Charles
2? You
Clay?
shut him out. You shut him out.
No, the
didn't you?
Charles Clay one was at
Shut
the end
him
of the
out.
season.
Yeah, 35-0.
Yes. Yes.
There wasn't, I like to say, on that game that felt so hot,
Stop it.
there wasn't a fart of a breeze.
Stop.
It was so
There
hot.
wasn't, but
I
different
hate
team,
that
different
saying.
game.
Yeah. That was like
It's
a
hot.
sauna.
It's hot, but Mike's right. We shut them out the year before.
Yeah. Shut him out.
No excuses.
Same weather. Same weather.
That's it. See?
Oh.
He knows. I want to go back to minutia.
Okay.
Big word.
Sorry,
today.
did I
Getting-
answer the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
About the
Got
weather.
it.
You nailed
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I follow through. I was going to say on the other example, I did it hot in Miami, but you look at Christmas Eve in Chicago 3 years ago, it was
Yeah.
negative 40, negative 30 degrees.
We skipped that.
And you're
We
like,
skipped
and
that game.
the ball, I don't blame you. The ball is, like, I'm reporting
Frozen,
off live
right?
TV. Like, I'm watching TV from home. The ball was frozen.
Yeah.
It was like snapping a frozen leather brick.
Yeah.
Like Sam had a bruise on his foot from punting. Like it was, you couldn't
my
you couldn't barely warm up in the net because it was so windy. The ball
Yeah.
felt like a rock. I mean, we would just sit on the bench and go out, snap and kick, and then come back to the bench and then go out. Like you couldn't even stand next to the heater because it was so windy. The heat that was blowing out would dissipate before you even
Oh my
felt it.
gosh.
God, I'm glad we
It was
missed
insane.
that.
Oh, yeah.
It was insane.
Minutia.
All right.
Yeah,
So you guys
go ahead.
earned your money and you just got your new deal. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's
Appreciate
awesome for you. Specifically getting paid. I don't know if fans realize this. When you get paid, how you get paid. And then I think about things like, what about this time of the year? OTAs or, training camp or the playoffs. Like, I think I know the answer to these, but go through that a little bit, how it works for all of you guys.
Sure. So a few years ago, after I think it was after the last CBA got voted through, they changed the payment system. So my first couple of years, up until the 2020 season, we got paid weeks 1 through, at that time it was 17.
Right.
So you got your whatever your salary was, it was divvied up into 17 game checks. After that CBA, they added you got the 18th game added a couple years ago. So there's 18 weeks in the season. And in an effort to the players union, in an effort to help out the younger players and kind of practice good financial responsibility, they expanded the pay schedule, pay schedule to 36 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So that guys wouldn't just get the chunk during the season, and then you're kind of left with nothing coming in the off season.
Yeah.
Mixed reviews, but now past handful of years so basically we get half of our week 1 paycheck in week 1 after the week 1 game, and then the way I explain it to guys when they ask me is it's basically week 1A. And
Right.
so you go week 1A all the way through week 18A, and then as that first week after the season, so I guess it'll be the first week of playoffs, whether you make it or not, that first week after the season, week 19, if you will, you would get your week 1B check.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Right. But that's for your salary. So now
For salary.
you
Yep.
said
So
the
that goes
playoffs.
all the way through
Right.
18 weeks after the season's over. So it was just a few weeks ago. We got our last second half game check, I guess, if you will, from the
Right.
season. It goes almost it goes into May, I think, a week or two. So so for the playoffs,
Yeah.
and I think I have to look it up every year because guys ask me like what the bonuses and stuff are. I think it's on. I think there's some website that puts it out. It used to be SB Nation, I think, but you get there's the bonuses escalate obviously the deeper you go into the playoffs, and I think per the CBA those bonuses have to be paid out. I believe within 15 days of the date of the game that is played. So
wait, but here, this is what I wanted to ask you. Is
Yep.
the amount for the playoffs, is that based on your salary or is that based on what the team gets and you split it up?
No, that is a preset, agreed upon number that's in the CBA. I think you can maybe, I don't know if it's in the CBA or if it's on, I can't remember where I found it.
Right.
It's a agreed upon, and it escalates a little bit up every year. Like the divisional round or the wild card round, you get X amount of dollars. I think the divisional round is maybe the same amount, and then it goes up for the championship round, and then the Super Bowl. The winning team gets a higher number than the losing team. So
you're getting the same Josh is getting for those games.
For the playoffs, everybody gets the same bonus. Guys. There are guys, some of the guys that are on the higher salaries. That playoff bonus check will be lower than a game check that they see every week.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
What is it like? I think another thing we always kind of talk about too is the life of a football player. We joke around that you guys are like robots and things like that, but you guys do have lives, wives, kids, significant others, all of these things. I don't think a lot of people know that you guys stay in a hotel the night before even home games. I think people understand that you travel, but I guess how weird is that? Obviously, you've done it for a long enough time, but to be like, hey guys, dad's going, you have 2 daughters, your wife to be like, hey, dad's going to work tonight. You'll see me tomorrow. Like, how does that all go down?
Yeah, so we normally do our meetings, like we have nightly meetings on Saturday nights at the facility, and then we'll all drive down and stay at the hotel the night before the game. So I will say that it would be nice to stay home, but I do.
Yeah, kids.
Guys appreciate a good night's rest. Before game day. And we've laughed about it. My wife totally understands. We have a guest room in the basement of our house up here, and last year, I think it was last year. Might have been 2 years ago for the Pittsburgh game. The one that got moved. The one that got moved.
Yeah.
We did not go to the hotel. They let us stay home the night before that game.
Yeah.
And I slept in the basement.
Yeah.
Because the kids were young. They're get up overnight, babies and
wives are the real MVPs.
But she totally understands. But she's do what you got to do. Yeah. It's
do you have a roommate, like said, or do you guys all get your own rooms?
So used to have a roommate. When I first got up here, the rule was you'd get a roommate until your I think your 4th season. You had maybe it's 3rd or 4th season in the league. You had the opportunity to buy out half of the other half of your room if you wanted to stay by yourself. And then after that, I think your 5th year you get no roommate. So as soon as I hit that threshold, I was like, charge me the other half of my room. I want to stay by myself.
Did you have a regular roommate?
I did. It was Ike Butker. He was awesome.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right,
Ike.
so it's
Yeah, he
good.
was
Wow,
great.
that's a
But you
Before that,
still
it
couldn't
was,
wait to buy him out, though.
Yeah.
No. I think he did the same thing. We came in
Yeah.
around the same time, so I think he
It's
he
not
wanted
you,
to
it's
save
me,
myself too.
kind of
No,
thing.
yeah.
Like, hey,
We totally. It was mutual. He's the best. Before that, it was Colton Schmidt. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah.
If you guys were around
Yeah.
for Colton
Huge
Schmidt.
quads.
So huge, massive quads.
massive quads.
Massive quads.
Oh my gosh,
So
Colton
yeah,
Schmidt.
and he was a great roommate as well. I was fortunate to have two good roommates the couple years. But and then during COVID, we didn't do roommates. Obviously, everybody got their own room, but now I think they are back to roommates
Ooh.
for
Those-
just for the
yeah.
younger guys.
The
Yeah.
NFL doesn't have enough money.
That's it.
What is like a game day look like? Like I know it's dependent on what time kickoff is, but like what is the average game day like outlook?
Like for me personally, like
Just
what's
like
my
in general for the team and for yourself.
Yeah, so I am an early riser, and I was pre-kids even on game day. I just like to get up and going. So especially for a 1 o'clock game, for a later game, I may sleep in a little bit. But for the early games, early riser, got to stop by and get my Dunkin' Donuts in the morning.
No free ads.
On the way. No free ads.
What's
No,
your
yeah.
what's your order? What's your order?
Just a large black coffee. That's it.
Attaboy. That's
Wow.
it.
What a-
That's the way to go,
Okay,
Reed.
I'm not into the morning milkshakes.
Oh,
okay.
Dan
Okay.
orders
No.
when we're traveling. I go, there's a 13-year-old girl that's going to pick up your order. It's
is
so
erroneous.
It's so
This is erroneous.
Erroneous.
Okay,
is
so
not
if you go to
the
if
right
you go
word.
to Reed,
Explain.
if
You have
You go to
30 seconds to
Starbucks.
explain yourself.
if you go to Starbucks, what are you getting, Reed?
A large black coffee.
attaboy.
I don't get anything else.
So
I don't
if
even like
say-
Starbucks, so I don't ever go to Starbucks.
Oh my god,
That's
you sound
fair.
like Catalana.
Yeah, that's fair. But if I were to say a cold brew,
No, yeah, but then you add all this. Go ahead.
I say
go ahead. Say
a
it.
grande.
Oh God, you lost.
What do
Reed.
you have? What do you think? It's the orders. If you
Let's
say
hear it.
medium-
What's your order? You're
Salted caramel, cold
Oh,
foam, cold brew.
God.
hello. May I take your order, please?
Go ahead.
Yes, could I get a grande, salted caramel, cold foam, cold brew?
Oh God.
What's the name on that going to be?
That'll be Dan.
It'll be
Yeah, okay.
Danielle.
Yeah, one order for Danielle, please.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. For the longest time, I used to have to. My wife, when she wanted an order, I would make either her order it or I'd make her text me the order, and I would just show them because I didn't understand all the adjustments.
Now he's very proud of his order.
It is really good.
You get a scone.
How can
And a
you
black
appreciate?
Why not?
You can't appreciate the taste of the coffee when it has all that
Exactly.
added stuff to it.
It's just a little cold foam on top. It's still a cold brew. It's just black cold
Yeah.
coffee.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't do
it's
cold
still-
coffee. It tastes weird.
Oh, I'm cold
Really?
coffee. Cold coffee year round. Winter, 10 degrees, cold brew.
Yeah, with his macchiato and his.
Okay, we got sidetracked. You get your Dunkin'. You get your Dunkin'.
Get the Dunkin'. Got to get
What about
the
the
large
game day
black
fit
coffee Dunkin'.
and the game day fit.
Game day fit. Got it all. Erica does a great job of helping me pick it out. I got to get approval from all three girls now.
That's
household,
huge.
so,
That's adorable.
They love helping Dad pick out a shirt and the whole fit now. So it's great. But head to the stadium for a 1 o'clock game. Normally get there, I don't know, around 8:30, 8:45. Grab some breakfast and kind of just hang out and take the morning as it goes, I like to say. And usually head down to the stadium locker room around 10 o'clock, get everything situated. I like to do a little lap around the field on game day. And we go out for warm-ups a little after 11, like 11:15, 11:20, and that's kind of when the day gets started.
Okay, I have one question. Who gives the best pregame speech?
I wish I knew.
Really?
We're not in there for it. We run
That's
out.
so fair. Yeah, I guess that's very true.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, it's,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, we come out. They have the little schedule in the locker room, and when there's the 2-minute warning is when they kind of all get up and somebody talks. I'm not sure who it is, but coach will call it up. But 2 minutes before the 2-minute warning is when we
You go.
make our way outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're obviously still one of, I mean, we'll be biased and say the best in the league at what you do. They just paid you, right? How long you want to do this?
till they stop paying me.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
I've gotten that. I mean, I'm on the other side of 30 now. Just turned 31 a couple months ago. So I've gotten that question quite a bit. But I mean, there's a guy, JJ Jansen in Carolina this year. He'll play this season at 40.
Wow.
John Weeks out in San Francisco. He snapped for the Texans for his whole career until this year. He's going to be 39 this season.
Wow.
Morgan Cox down in Tennessee. He's going to be 39 this season. And
you're young.
The guy James Winchester for the Chiefs, I think is going to be 36 maybe. There's a couple other guys that I think there's one or two other guys that might be 37, 38. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you guys
as long
should
as
have like
as long as they want to have me do it.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
Reed, for the record, 31 is young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
And 30 is,
Yeah.
I can use my joke, Reed. 30 is no big deal. I've done it twice. So it's fine. It's fine. How about a long snapper summit like they do for tight ends and pass rushers?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to
That's a
get the
great
guys
idea.
together?
It has been discussed. It has been discussed.
Buffalo
there's
Plus
a couple,
would like to be a sponsor. Buffalo
yes,
Plus would like
we
to be in the
would.
mix.
We can't give you any money, but
Yeah, exactly. We're loosely associated. That's how you can just
Okay.
throw our names. Like we got this big media group and podcast.
no free ads. So it has been discussed.
Yeah.
Golf trip, stuff like that. So
Cool.
cool.
Yeah.
it has been discussed.
Most
But there's
important
there's a couple kicking coaches around the country that will host groups of guys that they train in the league over the summer around the country. So a couple of the guys will ask their snappers to come there. Hey, can you come? We're going to get tuned up before the season. So it's kind of guys kind of bounce around, but it's tough. I mean, Dan, we're busy with the kids.
We are.
Yes.
very
Sorry, Mike.
busy.
I don't know if you have any kids or not, but they're
Reed, I've got 2 grandkids.
there. You go. Oh, fantastic! Congratulations.
There we go.
Grandpa.
That's
Yeah.
There
it.
you go.
Yeah.
Grandpa
Yes.
Mike.
That's
Yeah,
it.
One last one from me, and I don't know if this question is going to pump your tires or deflate them in the sense of like, I can't imagine Josh goes to Wegmans and goes grocery shopping or like is out and about all that much. For you, how much are you recognized when you just go out, whether it's with the family or you're pumping gas? Like, how often do you get stopped and they're just like, way to go, Reed, or go Bills?
It does happen frequently, not a ton, and I have to give credit to the people of Buffalo. They're always, super respectful if we're eating dinner or if we're shopping, grocery shopping, whatever it may be. Always super respectful. Hey, go Bills! Looking forward to the season, whatever it may be. People are always very respectful. So it does happen. And the girls love it, and they're like,
Oh,
it's my recognized daddy. But yeah, it's
cute.
it's cool. I don't know if Josh goes to Wegmans.
No free ads.
He might. He might. They might open up after hours for him.
That's true.
Josh is coming in.
Like
That's fair.
like shutting Disney World down. Like
yeah.
you kind of got the park to yourself there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he could get it.
He might. He's probably an avid Instacart guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, one can imagine. Well, Reed, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything that you want to plug or anything before we wrap up here? Raising Cane's?
No free ads.
This is a plea to my friend Todd Graves.
Okay.
We need it.
Need it in Buffalo?
Need a
need
Raising
it.
Cane's.
We
I
need
thought
it.
they were. I thought Raising Cane's was very good when we had it.
Yeah.
Do they
like-
have like a signature sauce? Like, is it
Yep.
like, what's the signature sauce?
Just like a good.
Cane sauce.
Yeah.
What's it taste
It's
like?
like
I've never had it, so I don't know.
like a zesty sauce, Reed, like a zesty ranch. You kind of
Reed's like, no. Is it like a honey mustard?
No, it's not like a honey
no,
mustard.
it's not honey mustard. I'm trying to think. It's mayo, ketchup, and pepper.
Oh, that's
It's kind of like a
yeah.
Big Mac sauce. That's probably the best way to.
No,
Okay.
Big
More
Mac is
bite
like
to it, right?
Big Mac is just Thousand Island. That's all. It is.
Yeah. It's just relish.
No free ads.
And
Yes.
I've,
Though
never
we're
had
trying to
I've
get-
actually never had a Big Mac before.
Oh,
Wow.
I love.
Yeah, I know.
We're
Is
trying to
that
get
surprising?
Raising
Is that
Cane's in for
surprising?
you.
Yes. What's your go-to order at McDonald's?
I don't go to McDonald's. I don't really go to McDonald's.
You don't ever go to McDonald's.
Order at Chick-fil-A.
No?
The only time I'll go to McDonald's is if I need like breakfast on a road trip or something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I'll get like their oatmeal is really good, like an egg McMuffin.
Wow,
or
we are
something
not
like
the
that.
same.
Egg
Reed.
McMuffin. I just said egg
Reed.
McMuffin.
Okay.
My God. Reed and I could travel together. He knows how to
Maybe-
order.
You say,
maybe-
There we go.
Maybe a sausage, egg and cheese McGriddle every now and then.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Do
Okay,
you like
all right.
scones, Reed?
No. Little
Exactly.
okay.
Thank you. Because they're
Little
not good.
too.
It tastes
little
like
too,
dust. Yeah.
Little too airy for me. I like
fair.
my treats to be dense.
Like a Snapdragon apple.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Got you there, bud.
No
Help
free
you out.
ads.
Yeah. No free ads.
An ad. All right. Reed,
is
thank
an
you. Yeah, I should
Yes.
say. Reed, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
We
y'all for
really
having me on. This
appreciate
was
your
great.
time.
Good questions. Round of applause.
Thank you,
Round of
man.
Thank you, Reed.
applause. Great question.
Appreciate it.
I love that he hated on Dan's coffee order. That being said, though, for the record, I order like the same thing Dan does.
I know, but Reed is that guy, and he has been around this team for that long.
Yeah.
And
He was
I think-
around with Rex Ryan.
yep, I think he's a respected guy. And I think
Definitely.
players at any position would talk to Reed
Mhm.
about stuff because they know he knows his way around. He loves Orchard Park. I love the fact that he just says, I'll keep playing until they stop paying me. Why not? He is really good at his job.
Yeah.
And the one thing I wanted to ask him again, but like his job is pretty much like you got to be perfect or close to perfect. You
Mhm.
only really notice Reed
Yeah.
if there's a mistake because he does a
Truly.
hell of a job. And, it's the snap for punts, the snap for kicks. And they like him. He's done a really, really good job for years now. And he wants to keep doing it.
It's crazy too when you do think about hearing him talk about the weather and the wind patterns and like how much does go into that. Because you're right. Like I feel like with what he said of like a lot of people get up for a pee break or to get more chips and salsa. Like there is so much that goes on and there is so much that can affect how the kick goes off, all that stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting to know.
Yeah.
And also the check system. Yeah. I would need to get paid on the 36. I would be really bad if I only got the 17.
Yeah, I learned something there because I was always under the impression the league likes that you get paid for the games
Mhm.
kind of thing. But I do understand. I think it's tough for younger players or players who don't make as much
Yeah.
to get the money spread out a little bit. It's a little bit of forced. I mean, think about yourself. If you got
I
paid,
was.
yes, right? You're like,
Yeah.
that's tough.
I would be
And
bad at that.
not everybody is making
Exactly.
the huge, I mean, they're making good livings, but it's not the same thing. It is, I did want to hear him say it. When the playoffs come around, at least from the league, Josh Allen's getting the same
checks.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the way it
That
works.
is interesting because that's a bit counterintuitive.
Well, they might have bonuses, like any player could have
Correct.
bonuses in their contract, but from the league, it's like, we're all in this together. The regular
Yeah.
season's over.
No, I think
So
that's cool.
that was cool. I was glad he was very open about everything. And I'm really glad that he picked on Dan a lot.
Yeah. No, me too. We didn't pay him either. to
I
do
know.
that.
He
It's
he
amazing.
went right at it.
Also, I guess I have to try Raising Cane's. I've just never
Yeah.
had it. So
So Dan and I, the quick Raising Cane story is we were in Cincinnati. We were at a hotel and we were working. And I said, do you want me to go get us lunch? And he said, sure. And he said, well, this is what he wanted. I walked over. I was back in the lobby. It was like I went to a vending machine so fast. I was there. I told the guy we wanted. Boom, boom. Had him out there. It's both great and a little like, oh, when was this made? They were just cranking out the food at that place. It was really
is it
good.
just chicken tenders?
That's what I had.
Which
but,
I love chicken tenders.
Yeah.
It's not like a slight on chicken tenders.
But Reed is big on it. So let's see if they can get
also
him to
Dan
Buffalo.
trying to explain the sauce.
Yeah, he was not even close.
So funny.
Yeah.
It's like no, it's not.
No.
no, it's
No,
not.
not even close.
Okay, anything else?
No, I don't think so. I just really appreciate him doing it. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah, it looks like it is. Oh no, there's a sandwich.
Yeah.
I got to try this place.
There we go.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Buffalo Plus channel. Comment in, before you do that, comment in your thoughts on what Reed had to say, as well as
what your order is for coffee.
And if you would be okay getting paid just 17 checks a year.
Oh, I know.
That's
tough.
I hope a lot of people are like me. I would imagine. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus podcast presented by Connors and Ferris.